Well, whenever you use that sort of personnelist policy, Cecil Rhodes used the Jesuit model, put key Jesuits in key positions. Adam Weishaupt did the same thing with the Illuminati, used that sort of model of key people in key positions. And then you can influence others. Like I said, the Illuminati became tutors to princes so that when they became kings, they would be able to control, because they would have taught them a certain way to think. And so the danger with any of this is the oneness of it. For example, people say, well, what's wrong with national education standards? I say, well, it's the oneness. If everybody had gotten into the new math back in the 60s, we would have had a real disaster. If everybody had the national history standards, again, it would have been a real disaster, because 99 senators, even the liberal ones, voted against these national history standards a few years ago because of political correctness. So whenever you have a dominion type of view, those people are literally proclaiming ours is the way, and anybody else, any other denominational difference, is not the way. And so, in effect, they establish a theocracy. And one of the beauties of the American system in general is we might have a particular state doing something in education. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, the other states aren't burdened by it.
Right.
But to literally force, let's say, a particular theocratic view, whatever it is to deny the very religious freedom that the Bible talks about, that God and Jesus talk about. I mean, God we have free will because God doesn't want to dictate that we must love Him. It is supposed to be our choice to do that. Same thing with Jesus. Jesus didn't go around saying, okay, here's the way it is, and kill anybody who disagrees with me. So the idea of, in effect, having a theocracy is anti-biblical.
Mm-hmm. And as they say, they are to occupy until He comes. And so that becomes an occupying army, just like you have one in Iraq or any other part of the world itself.
But it's not. But the occupation itself has to be implemented, and you have to have certain correct views, or else something happens to you. And that's the problem with the theocracy.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Cuddy, I'd like to hear you sometime talk more about these kind of matters. Mm-hmm. I know you talk a lot about historical matters, but I think you have a lot to say on this front too. And whether it's in News with Views or Dr. Stan's show or here, we'd sure like to hear more about that. And I would like to invite you back. You know, we just scratched the surface here. The kind of material you do is what is of keen interest to us and our listeners. And they need it to really round out and, again, to put all the pieces together with your research. You could take any one of these questions we had and easily fill a couple hours with us on it with plenty to spare. But as you are available and you have time, we'd just like to welcome you back at your leisure. And we hope you enjoyed the process. I know your throat is very tenuous, but we hope you enjoyed being here and that your information and work is treated with the respect it deserves.
Thank you very much for having me.
And how can our listeners find out more about your research, try to support you, or stay appraised of your developments?
News with Views website, I try to get an article up every other Monday. And if you just go today or any day in newswithviews.com, scan down the left side of the page, you'll see a list of names. Mine's like number 6 or 7. You click on that, and up will come in reverse order. The most recent at the top, about 170 articles on a variety of subjects.